Welcome to Thoughts for Growth, a 3 to 15 minute program to inspire, motivate, and or provoke you to see life differently. Brought to you by K-Wave 6 Radio every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, here's your host.
There's a better way, there's a better way. Take one step back and say, there's a better way, there's a better way.
Hello and welcome to Thoughts for Growth. This is your host, Kirk Spencer, the host of K-Wave 6 Radio. First, let me apologize for not having any programming for last week, but I figured because of the holiday, most people probably wouldn't be listening to the program anyway. If you were missing it, I'm very sorry that I didn't do that for you. But let's start with this coming Wednesday. We're having a live program via Blog Talk Radio starting at 2 o'clock Eastern for 2 hours. We're going to have the producer and his partner of Freedom Talk Radio as part of the programming. A few other guests that I have selected, and we're going to open up the phone line somewhere during the show for you to come on and we can talk about New Year's, your goals and hopes and desires for the coming new year. Now for today's program, this is a part 1 of 2. We're going to do this today and tomorrow because Wednesday we're having a live show to bring in the new year. Today's show is titled Happy, Part 1. We're going to start with just some of the events that have happened just recently, such as the New York police riots where 2 police officers had died, and something to do with Ferguson as well. And I do want to start with that one because it seems like we as a civilization have a double standard for ourselves and for law enforcement personnel. Now, the way that I grew up, it was very simple, very simply, a way of looking at police was, yes, there's good and bad in police, there's good and bad in politicians, there's good and bad in you and me. And if we allow the bad to overwhelm the good, then we're continuing in a cycle that is very non-beneficial to all of us. Now, killing police officers, especially those who are innocent, these 2 police officers that were murdered, were not part of any of the situations that brought on the riot. However, we're holding someone else accountable for someone else's, say, crimes, put it that way. And I say that there's a double standard here because we're wanting the police, who are supposed to be protecting us, and that is their charge, that is their duty, to protect us. We go rioting to bring about peace. And if someone can, please tell me how rioting brings about peace. Tell me how violence brings about peace. I mean, Martin Luther King would have had a fit just to see this, and I'm quite sure he would have been up in arms and speaking out against all of this. If you want to get rid of police violence, then do it peacefully, because being violent in itself is just going to bring about more violence. They're going to get more armored vehicles, they're going to get more machine guns, and then you're going to want to go out and get more guns and so on and so forth to protect yourself. Why not unite as a people and say, hey, we don't want the violence and we don't want you picking on innocent people. Now, as a community, we should be also looking to help those who, such as the young man in Ferguson who had a rap sheet, who also showed that he had his own string of violence that he was dealing with. But where was the community to help him? Where is the community to help those who, say, are hot-tempered and are not taught respect for the law, maybe not every law enforcement officer, but nonetheless, they're there to protect us, sometimes just from ourselves. We need to take responsibility for ourselves and for our community, those who live in our community, and work towards that happiness that we're all seeking. But this is not just an American problem. This is something that's going on in Mexico. This is going on in Greece, has been going on in Greece for a long time about their financial and economic problems. In Paris is having their problems. Middle East, we know about what's going on in the Middle East. And I ask you, are there people that are from the governments, from corporations, from any other source that are stirring up the problems so that they have more, let's say, legitimate reasons to come after us with bigger and better arms? Because some places, even with Martin Luther King's demonstrations, there was always someone there that wanted to stir up the crowd for violence. So where does it stop? Where can we point out that, hey, we're not the ones who's causing the problems? There are people who come in to infiltrate and to cause problems instead of helping us to solve the problems. But let's get back to happiness on an individual level. What is the cause of our unhappiness? Are we looking for more money? Will money actually make you happy? I think a lot of people think that money will bring them happiness. But I'm going to akin this to sex. If you've been around the block a couple of times, you find that sex by itself is only satisfying for a certain amount of time, and then let's just say the honeymoon is over and reality sets in, and if there's not a relationship there, your relationship will, even the sexual relationship, will eventually disappear, go away, will become boring, and then you're looking for someone else. If you're looking for personal success, what is that personal success? Is it all about you, or is it about you, your loved ones, your family, or is it about your community, or as the world as a whole? Are you looking at success as being something that's going to be just for me, and look at me, I've accomplished, and, well, you can go on from there. Relationships. Are the relationships that you're in, or the ones that you're looking for, are they only for yourself? Are they for self-gratification, or are they for a greater whole? What are you looking to build your happiness on? Are you wanting what others have? Are you looking for the latest products? This person has the latest car, they have the latest big screen TV, they have the latest camcorder, they have the latest of whatever. Just things. Are we looking as things and objects and just to be competitive with someone else and thinking that if I've got what they've got, or I've got more than what they've got, this is going to bring me happiness? Is that what you consider to be true happiness? Is your happiness wanting for peace? Is it peace for you, and I don't care about other people and their peace and their happiness as long as they're not bothering anyone else, including you? What about happiness in beliefs and wanting others to live as you? We see how that's working out for a lot of people. This is not working. Peace has to be not only for me, but for everyone around me. The quote that you see, or should have seen, in the blog and in the podcast, it's a quote from Buddha, and it says, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts." Please think about that, and we'll continue this thought tomorrow. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
There's a
Thank you for listening to today's Thoughts for Growth episode. Keep up with what's new on K-Wave 6 Radio by following our blog, following us on Twitter, and liking us on Facebook. All available at www.kwave6, that's the number 6, radio.tk. Again, www.kwave6radio.tk, or if you prefer, www.kwave6radio.wordpress.com.
We can't wait to be